Not a good start to April, but motorists will this Wednesday pay more for fuel as prices will rise for the third consecutive month. The price of 93 petrol will go up by 65 cents per litre, 95 petrol by 67 cents per litre, and diesel expected to rise by 3 cents per litre. The increase can be attributed to high Brent crude oil price, which was up from $82.50 to $84.22 per barrel. Joining us is Reggie Sibiya, Fuel Retailers Association. Reggie, thanks for speaking to us. Let's start off with, how does the recent consecutive increase in fuel prices impact South African motorists and consumers?
Thanks, Hugo, and thank you for the opportunity. It actually impacts very negatively on consumers, Hugo. As we all are aware, these increases have been happening for quite some time, and there is no indications that they will be better in the future, though there will be some reliefs, especially on diesel, coming in the next period that will be reported. However, in the main, we know that consumers are under pressure in terms of their wallets, driven by a number of things. I think we know that the unemployment rate is high, number one. The salary increases and wage increases are stagnant, if they are even affordable, from some of the employers, especially the SMMEs. And we saw those things that do put pressure on the motorist. And of course, Hugo, when the prices goes up, they then impact on other things like, other services, for goods, transportation, and even manufacturing. And the conundrum, though, is that when the prices go down, and they did go down for quite some time last year, the manufacturers and the providers of services and goods, including food, they don't then adjust those inflationary costs, which then just become a vicious cycle for the motorists. They are really, really under pressure by these price increases. But the other thing, though, Hugo, that people do not know is that equally so are the fuel retailers. And this does not sound believable to most people. But if I can tell you now that tomorrow, if somebody goes to a pump, to a petrol service station, to a pump, and they pay 25 rand, per litre for the ULP 95, for example, in inland. Of that 25 rands, only 39 cents per litre is allocated as profit margin, before tax, by the way, for a fuel retailer.
Sorry, Reggie,
and
you've kind of shocked me there. So
yeah,
we're paying 25 rand or thereabouts per litre of fuel on average,
yes,
right? And you're telling me that of that amount, only a very small margin before tax of 39 cents goes to the retailer. Where does the rest of the money go?
For profit. For profit, yeah. And then only R1.55 goes to expenses. So in total, of the 25 rand, only R1.95 accrued to the retailer. The 92.5% of the 39 cents per litre goes back to the oil companies and the government. That's where it goes. And this narrative is very, very important. And even if you look at current increases for the month of April, the local, yes, we know that in the main, that was due to the international oil prices and the rand-dollar exchange. But if you look at the local increases, the 22 cents per litre slate recovery, that is an under-recovery that goes to oil companies. Not a cent of that comes to retailers. The road transport recovery up to 14 cents a litre on this increase, it also goes to oil companies. None of that comes to the fuel retailer. The pipeline tariffs, they go to Transnet because Transnet owns the pipeline. So whilst the narrative was that these under-recoveries are for the industry, but actually they're not for all industry players in the market. And we, at the tail end, unfortunately, then we have this conflict with the motorists. And this conflict is intensifying because, you've got a motorist which is paying now 25 rand per litre, which is a significant amount of money per litre, and thinking that an owner of a service station is making up 25 rand per litre when they are only making 1.95 rand per litre. So it's quite a difficult situation for us. And also, when that happens, the negative impact on consumer wallet have also another indirect impact, in that then the motorists will spend less and less. Motorists have a budget. If I've got a budget of 1,000 rand for fuel, that's the budget I have. So whether I've put in fewer litres or more litres, I don't look at it that way. I look at it from my budget point of view. So it is, Hugo, in 15 years ago, we used to say that fuel is a grudge purchase. But I can tell you that as time has evolved, even, the sale of petrol is a grudge. I actually called today that, the sale of petrol is a grudge. So we've got a grudge sale. Retailers are just at a point where they are literally not knowing how to make ends meet. On top of that, other costs like the credit card costs, not many people know this, Hugo, and it's very important. When you come to a service station, and obviously you're under pressure, people are using credit cards more than cash because they are just heavily indebted. But every time you swipe a credit card, there is a fee. It's called an interchange fee that is payable to Visa and MasterCard through the banks by the retailer. And that fee is a percentage of the pump price. Currently is 1.75% of the pump price. So currently retailers are paying about 44 cents a litre for every transaction of a credit card. Now, if you recall in my earlier statement of the 39 cents per litre, so if I've got 39 cents per litre allocated for profit before tax, and you swipe a credit card, and that cost me 46 cents a litre, and that's not in the margin, it means every credit card swipes away my profit margin as well. So, and it's been for years, almost 10 years, when we've been asking the department to actually reinvest this cost. Because you can see that when the government is under recovering on areas, margins are adjusted. When all companies are under recovering, margins are adjusted. There is no questions. There is no delays. So we really just feel that at the moment, retailers, because they are seen as the least path of resistance, that nobody is paying too much attention. And yet, they are critical. They are at the end of the value chain. We are supposed to be putting a smile when actually servicing the motorist. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's a very difficult smile to have because we've got our own challenges. We really feel for the motorists. We really feel for the hardships that they are actually facing. But we also believe that, government should also look after the small businesses to actually ensure
Reggie,
that at least we have this.
Reggie, I've got under 60 seconds to ask my next question, if you'll allow me. And those around the long-term sustainability of fuel price increases, particularly where you refer to how the consumer operates, that if the consumer has 1,000 rand to spend, that's all they're prepared to spend. So what does it do for the consumer and also for yourselves as retailers? Because I'd imagine that's top of mind for you on how are you going to sustain your business?
Absolutely. We need to sustain our business. We believe that the answer to these things, Hugo, as much as it's repeated by many people, is that we need to see our economy grow. We need to see more people actually getting into the job market. If you go to other markets, like global markets, fuel is not cheap. Fuel is never cheap because most markets are actually importers of fuel. But what then assists is that people are able to afford the increases that come along together with other inflationary costs.
Reggie Sibiya, fuel.
So that's what we believe needs to happen.
Yeah. Reggie, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for speaking to us. And Reggie Sibiya is a member of the, in fact, speaking on behalf of the Fuel Retailers Association, and those shocking statistics that where you are paying 25 Rand for fuel, only a R1.95 in profit goes to the retailers.